Okay, talk about composite functions here. Composite function written as f of g of x, computed as f of g of x. The output of g of x becomes the input of f. Plug the number into the g function, then take the result and plug it into f. Okay, let's see how this works. So we're going to do g of f of 3. So we're starting with f of 3, which just means take this and do f of 3. It's going to equal 3 times 3 minus 9. And 3 times 3 minus 9 is 0. Now what we're going to do with that is do g of that. So we're taking this is 0, so we're doing g of 0. Nice thing is 3 times 0 squared is 0, minus 5 times 0 is 0, plus 15 is just 15. And there we go, that's it. G of f of 3 is 15. Okay, let's try another one. F of g of negative 1. So we start by doing g of negative 1. So we're plugging in negative 1 right here. 5 times negative 1 minus 4 is negative 9. So we're taking the negative 9 and plugging it in there. You throw that all into a calculator and you get 58. So f of g of negative 1 is 58. All right. So now we're going to find f of g of negative 4. I'm going to let you work this one out, pause it here, and then come back and check your answers. Okay, so start by doing g of negative 4, which is negative 1. We plug negative 1 into f. We get 10. So f of g of negative 4 is 10. All right, now we're going to do it graphically. So we start with g of negative 8. So we go to g of negative 8 is 0. I think I have that on here. G of negative 8 is 0. Because my y value, when my x value is negative 8, my y value is 0. So I take this in, and I'm going to do f of 0. So I go to the x value of 0, and I find my y value is 8. So f of g of negative 8 is 8. Okay, again, your turn. Find g of f of negative 5. Pause here, work this out, and come back and check your answers. Okay, f of negative 5 appears to be negative 2. So now I do g of negative 2, which is also negative 2. And there we go. G of f of negative 5 is negative 2. Now we're going to do g of f of negative 5 with a table. So again, we start with f of negative 5. Negative 5 is my x value. My f of negative 5 is negative 11. So now I'm doing g of negative 11. So I go to negative 11 for my x. And I do g, which is 12. So g of f of negative 5 is 12. I'm going to have you try f of 15. Again, pause it here, work it out, and come back and check your answers. Okay, so I start with doing f of 15. So I put in 15 for x, and I get out negative 20. Well, now I'm doing f of negative 20. So I go to negative 20 for x, and I go to f again, and get out 7. And there we go. F of 15 is 7. This looks super complicated, but we just break it down. Just start by doing f of negative 1. There's negative 1. And f of negative 1 is negative 15. So that means this is negative 15 plus 5. Now we need to figure out what g of negative 15 is. So I put in negative 15 for x. And I do the g function, and I get out negative 11. So this is negative 11. So that's all I'm computing. I'll get negative 15 minus 55, negative 70. Oops. Okay. Have you pause it here, work this one out, and come back and check your answers. Okay, so let's just start with f of 8. So here's 8, and we get 5. Now I'm doing g of 5. So I go to 5 and do the g and get negative 11. So my first term, g of f of 8, is negative 11. So now let's do f of negative 8. Comes out to be 16. And now I'm doing f again of 16. Is 18. So my second term is 18. So all I'm doing is 11 minus 18, which is negative 29. All right. Now we get 3 things. So f of negative 3, I'm just looking. Well, there's h, there's g, there's f. So f of negative 3 is negative 4. Then I'm doing g of negative 4. Well, that's going to be in here. So I need to plug in negative 4 for x. You get 2 times negative 4 is negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. So f of negative 3 times g of negative 4 is negative 4 times negative 3. By the way, these working out as kind of like opposites of each other is purely coincidental. Do not like this came out to negative 4. This negative 4 down here has nothing to do with this negative 4. This negative 4 came from them giving us negative 4. But in the end, negative 4 times negative 3, positive 12. Okay, your turn. Pause it here, work this one out, and come back and check your answers. Okay, we're going to start with h of 8. So here's my h. Take that and get that. So h of 8 is 6. Hold on to that for a second, and I'm going to do f of negative 3. Means I'm ignoring this one. By the way, we ignored the graph on the last one just because it wasn't used. Well, here I'm going to use the graph because that is f. I go to f of negative 3, go down, and get my y value of negative 8. And so this is my numerator, this is my denominator. Simplify that to negative 3 over 4. And there you go. There's composition functions with numbers. Next on the up is composition functions with variables. Good luck.